Alright guys, and we are back, and I got us to about right here, staring at this big red door, just waiting to go in. Are you guys ready? I know I am. Here we go. This is the only way we get our mesmerization up to the point where we can actually go ahead and enter in our friend's home, so we can confront her about trying to poison her husband and to be able to get one of our side missions done. I could technically go ahead and work on the side mission for my dad in this game, but I will work on that as I continue to go into the tunnels over there and stuff like that. So yes, it is a build-up for sure.
Do you know where you are standing right now?
In front of the Ascalon Club, I presume.
The Ascalon Club only summons or ostracizes. What is your business tonight?
I received an invitation. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Welcome to the Ascalon Club, then, Dr. Reed. Please proceed. Lord Redgrave is waiting on you upstairs.
Okay, and we're going to check things out as we go. So by all means...
There has been quite a battle here. I'm sure the Ascalon Club has the money to replace the furniture.
There we go. Soon enough you'll be able to enter in all these doors and stuff like that. You guys have a major choice with this. I already know what my choice is going to be, but yeah, because I know what I'm working towards. But we'll talk about that once we get to it. That is actually a back door, so I'm not even going to bother going through it right now at this moment. I will show you guys later on. Okay, I'm going to make sure. I'm gonna go in here. That is like a personal little mini downstairs-y space, if I remember correctly. You get access to that later. And I need to check, haha. Here is that for those of you that are reading those. Whether you hit pause as soon as I do, click on those so you can take the time to read it. Whatever floats your boat. Like I said, this is not my first playthrough, but it is me kind of working towards a specific ending and a specific playthrough on here. So that is kind of new. The last time I specifically played this was I ate only specific people. Oh, I didn't want to technically do that yet. I got too close. And the only human in there is just right there, next to the Lord Redgrave. But you'll find out more about that later.
Attention. Behold our visitor, the good Dr. Reed. Newborn of blood so pure and strong that even my friend Fergal Bansher was no match for him.
Here, here, here.
Come forward, young Ekon, for we have so much to discuss. Welcome to the Ascalon Club, Dr. Reed. I am Lord Redgrave, Earl of Bristol and chairman of this exclusive association.
Lord Redgrave.
At last we meet. I've been eager to make your acquaintance. I've heard some astounding things about you. Please accept my condolences for your loss, Dr. Reed.
Thank you, my lord. Lady Ashbury expressed your wish to meet me.
Yes. The lady has always been a useful acquaintance, though not always reliable. Is she a good friend of yours?
She's a close friend, and I'm honored that she feels the same about me.
The centuries have taught me never to trust a woman completely, especially if she is immortal. Too prone to emotions, if you ask me. Too fickle when it comes to important decisions.
My lord, do not expect me to speak ill of Lady Ashbury.
Of course not, and I praise your loyalty. Would you offer the same fidelity to the Empire?
What do you mean?
I speak of the Scowl Plague that threatens London and the country. You have been on the front line in the East End, but the time has come to open up a second front here.
The epidemic has escaped the quarantine. You have new cases of the outbreak.
We don't know for certain, but we cannot allow the disease to threaten the prominent heads of Great Britain.
Why do you suddenly need me?
The Ascalon Club only recruits the best, and you definitely fit the bill. Your scientific and medical reputation alone would qualify you as a candidate.
You want me to find possible sources of the outbreak in the West End. Is that it?
Ah, straight to the point, like all eager newborns. We shall have time to talk about all this, Dr. Reed, but first, I should like to get to know you better.
Talk? Is that the only reason you asked me here?
Well, no. I also wanted to meet the intriguing Ekon, who made such a powerful progeny of his sister. You have not learned the name of your maker, am I correct?
No, I haven't.
Have no embarrassment, Dr. Reed. We all make mistakes. But whatever your lineage, you are definitely Ascalon material.
What do you mean?
I would like you to become a member of the Ascalon Club, and to serve me as such.
Before I accept, I have so many questions.
Please ask.
What does it mean to be a member of the Ascalon Club?
It means that you swear to protect the interests of the Crown, that you become a loyal servant of the British Empire.
Do you have any official recognition from the government? A charter from His Majesty the King?
No. Of course, the Ascalon Club publicly supports the Empire, but the true nature of its members remains a secret.
Am I supposed to follow orders?
As founder and chairman of the club, I alone am entitled to make demands of our members. And I do appreciate obedience.
Okay.
What is the Ascalon Club's express purpose?
We follow the credo of William Marshall, the greatest knight who ever lived. As was he, we are sworn to protect the British Empire.
What does Ascalon mean?
Ascalon was the lance wielded by St. George, glorious patron saint of
I don't want to
England,
lose
when he slew
any
the dragon.
possibilities.
And like that lance, we pierce the hearts of all our nation's enemies.
William Marshall founded the Ascalon Club.
Not exactly. William Marshall granted me immortality, and I founded the club a few years later. The good knight has been gone for so long.
I killed Fergal, who claimed to be one of yours, sent to cleanse the East End of all scowls. Will his death be an issue?
Do not worry. My priorities have changed. Fergal was a zealous servant of mine, but like any servant, he had his limitations and is readily replaced if necessary.
And I have no
agree to join the
choice.
club.
This is good news. Good news indeed in these crucial times. Let's inform the Assembly formally and proceed with your initiation.
My initiation?
Fear not. Nothing fancy nor dangerous. It is just that we, the members of Ascalon, believe that tradition and custom are the backbone of this country.
All right, and here we go.
My fellow members, dear friends, Please gather and welcome this Ekon as one of our own.
Is he worthy? Is his blood pure?
Well, speak, Dr. Reed, in front of the most sacred blood. The blood of our beloved William Marshall. Speak now. Will you serve and protect the crown as he did?
Yes, I will.
Then, young Ekon, it is time to testify with your blood. It is time to sign the Book of Allegiance. I know it's awfully gothic and a tad pedantic, but England's traditions are the backbone of our nation. Delightful. Welcome to the Ascalon Club, Dr. Reed. Take your place among
So odd.
the bearers of the lance.
One of us! One of us!
Okay. So now I've literally got to go and talk to everybody.
Good evening, Dr. Reed. How does it feel to be this evening's centerpiece? Figuratively.
It's quite unsettling. As a doctor, I am more used to being the observer than the subject observed.
Do not be alarmed. The Ascalon Club has a tried and tested policy for choosing its initiates.
May I ask who you are, sir?
Why would you be interested?
Well, as you seem to be the only man in the room with a beating heart, you draw quite a bit of attention yourself.
Ah, vampire senses never cease to fascinate me. They dwarf those of mere mortals. I am Aloysius Dawson, by the way.
Are you a member of the club?
Yes, I am. And I have been for many years. And will be until the day I die.
What can you tell me about it?
It's not really my place to give you such information. I am merely a mortal member. And a dying one at that.
Are you sick?
Personally, I consider my advancing years are a sickness in itself. My body is slowly abandoning me, Dr. Reed.
Are you not afraid? You are surrounded by vampires.
Sir, it's for that very reason that I joined the club in the first place.
Is not the nature of this club a secret shared by only a privileged few?
My dear Dr. Reed, I have spent years and a fortune precisely to gather that kind of information.
So you asked for membership?
I have been a member of many clubs in many countries. But I must admit, this one is my favorite.
Okay.
What can you tell me about Lord Redgrave?
I would not dare speak of our chairman without his consent.
Mr. Dawson, of Dawson and Dawson, the wealthiest man in England. It is a pleasure to meet such a prominent figure of London.
A withering London figurehead, to be precise.
Are you sick, Mr. Dawson? I am a doctor, you know.
My case is beyond the scope of traditional medicine. I have spent fortunes on the world's most competent doctors to arrive at that diagnostic conclusion.
I'm sorry to hear that, sir. Should I suppose that you're here in search of some form of immortality?
Absolutely not. I'm here to implement my plan to save the city I was born in. To cast out the ghastly evil that has us all on our knees.
What do you know about the Guard of Priwen?
I should not say this, but I admire their commitment. This is what the nation needs right now.
But they are our enemies.
They are not mine, Dr. Reed.
Would you help them?
No. There is a time for such methods. But brute force will not be enough to fight this plague. We have to think differently.
What is the situation like in this part of town?
I am sure Lord Redgrave will enlighten you more effectively than I.
Money cannot solve every problem. This mysterious epidemic is going to require more than money can buy.
You're right. Money is nothing unless one has the will to wield it. I have a plan, sir. A radical one that will save all that is essential in London.
What is your plan, then?
Quarantine and barricades are futile. What we need is a wall. A formidable, unscalable wall to isolate the deserving from the infected masses.
But that would segregate the rich from the poor, would it not? It would be unjust.
Our only course of action must be to save England. And to save England, we have to make sacrifices.
Are you not mistaking sacrifice for summary execution?
Why do you care? Are you not a vampire? Removed from all mortal concerns? Decisiveness is what the city needs, and it needs it now. I'm sure you have more important things to do.
But I'm shocked no one took the time to clean up the
myself.
mess inside the club since we were attacked. I must admit the Guard of Priwen impressed me. They must have spent
Okay, I
years
do need to
preparing.
talk again to Lord Redgrave. But at least gives me a chance to kind of finish going through everything that it tried to force me to miss. Like, I want to go through it all. It's the completionist in me. Completionist in me needs to do it all. New to basement key. See? I knew I was going to eventually get in here and get it. In all honesty, in that moment, I couldn't remember if I was going to get it because I was going to, like, get it from Lord Redgrave or becoming a member, like initiation, or if I was going to have to find it somewhere.
I personally went patrolling last night.
Okay, here we go. Wait, what am I doing? Basement is this way. Haha! Come on, there's something. Haha, there's something. So there's that one. That way you can get that paused if you would like. Okay. I guess that's it. I can't remember if there was anything else down here, but I think that's it. Okay. I'm double checking the desk. Okay. I got caught on the door. I get caught on so much stuff. It's not even funny. Oh, one too far. Oh my gosh. Oh, lordy, lordy. I'm a mess.
Lord Redgrave is outside almost every night coordinating.
That went
There we
well,
go.
did it not? It is always useful to bolster the troops' morale, especially before a difficult battle.
You have the makings of a general, my lord.
I was, though very long ago, well, not quite a general, but a proud defender of the crown.
So why did you really want to meet me?
Straight to the point again, young Ekon. All right, let's talk, you and I, Lance Sparrow.
I'm listening, my lord.
According to my spies, you have worked with Dr. Edgar Swansea on the epidemic, and your findings were quite alarming.
Do you know Edgar Swansea?
Not personally, but I've been told he has some sort of immortal fetish and is a good friend of yours.
Does it bother you that I consider him my good friend?
As long as you reveal nothing of the club's inner workings, why should I forbid you engaging in conversation with the good Dr. Swansea?
You were spying on me.
Not personally. I rarely leave this building. But once he found you, Fergal kept me informed. Until you put an end to his mission.
Who was Fergal? I don't see him sipping tea with the others in the club.
Fergal Banshire was my squire of sorts. Even before becoming that magnificent beast, he was a brute. He served me well for decades.
No, I mean, what was he? He was clearly no ordinary vampire.
No, he was a Volcod. All muscles and instinct. Quite the rare breed. Ferociously territorial. Mortals often mistake them for werewolves.
You do know I killed him.
Yes.
Will you bear ill will towards me for his death?
Of course not. Your victory was quite impressive and courageous. You earned my respect.
Okay.
Yes, I'm convinced the recent invasion of frenzied Skulls in London is directly linked to the epidemic. This is not the Spanish flu, but something else.
I would be glad to hear more of your discoveries, Dr. Reed, but for now, my main concern is the security of London's inhabitants, both mortal and immortal.
What do you mean?
Alarmed by the epidemic, the Guard of Prewen has started a war against us British vampires. To appease the situation, we must eradicate the Skulls.
Okay.
I have met peaceful and wise Skulls. To exterminate them means we are no better than vampire hunters.
Skulls are hideous, shameful creatures that give all Ekon a bad name.
So, what do you want me to do?
I want you to investigate the city thoroughly. I have reason to fear there are cases of contagion in this part of town. Our absolute priority is to find and cleanse them.
And how would you like me to proceed?
By all means necessary, Dr. Reed. You are now a member of the Ascalon Club and you have carte blanche. Interrogate the locals, follow all the leads you find, and get results.
The Guard of Prewen impress me. They must have spent years preparing their plan.
Alright, now I should be able to get into the house. Wait, let's see.
Welcome to the Ascalon Club, Doctor.
I'm making sure. Let me make sure that there is nothing else.
How's your
I can
investigation
talk to
going,
him
Dr.
about.
Reed? Time is our enemy.
I have a few questions for your lordship.
All right, but be quick.
You made me swear on the blood of William Marshall during my initiation ceremony. Why was that?
William Marshall was the most glorious knight who ever lived. He served 5 kings, and was a living example of probity for all. And he was my maker.
William Marshall was a vampire? Is this some sort of joke? Wait. Could he be my maker?
That would be joyful news, for it would mean he still walks among us. But alas, the great knight has left this world for good.
Why is his blood so sacred to the Ascalon Club?
He was simply the greatest defender of the realm we have ever known. I fought by his side at the Battle of Preston, and he made me his progeny following the fight.
What can you tell me about the Great Hunt?
It's a major concern, and I'm convinced we'll only get a satisfactory conclusion by putting an end to the epidemic.
I have already met Geoffrey McCullum. I am certain he will persist until he has killed every last vampire.
The Guard's current successful recruitment campaign is driven by the ravenous behavior of the Skulls.
I see. So without the epidemic creating Skulls, the Guard could not convince anybody of our presence.
Exactly. Once we have put the epidemic behind us, we need only wait until the Guard grows old and weak. Time will once again become our ally.
Okay.
What about the risk of a full-scale attack here? Geoffrey McCullum is a daring leader.
That is exactly why so many of our number have left the country until things improve. But not me. I founded this club. I'll die defending it.
May I ask you about the mortal who attended my initiation? Mr. Aloysius Dawson.
A member of the club does not normally ask questions about other members. We trust each other mutually.
So he really is a member, then?
Indeed. Only the most eminent members are allowed to attend such ceremonies. Even if I admit some of us fled during the first hours of the Great Hunt.
But Mr. Dawson is mortal. Are you not afraid he might reveal who you are? Especially to your enemies.
Aloysius Dawson is a man of his word, as are all of us. This is the Ascalon Club, Dr. Reed. We do not grant access to the unworthy.
Okay,
Goodbye,
there we
Lord
go.
Redgrave.
Godspeed, Dr. Reed. We are counting on you.
And I'm gonna double check. Make
We'll
sure that...
talk later, Dr. Reed.
Alright, cool. So it's all done. I know this takes a while. But now I can get inside the house. Okay, I just wanted to make sure because it looked like it was shiny on the floor over there. I had to make sure. And now we wait. But it shouldn't be for too terribly long because it should load pretty quickly here any moment. And then we'll be outside and we will go see our good old friends and finish the whole Emily thing. Because like I said, we've got to go there. Oh, my fingers are so stiff. I think it's because of how cold it is up here.
I think Lord Redgrave just suggested I was sired by an ancient vampire.
There we go. I should still be able to get to it just fine from over here. Okay, no, not this one. This one. Haha.
Hello again, Venus.
Jonathan, you're still up. Can't you just knock at people's doors during the day?
I'm sure you can spare me a few minutes. For old time's sake.
Of course you may enter, Jonathan. But you are always welcome here. But at this hour of night?
Okay, let's talk to her and do all this.
So you returned from the war in one piece too. Thank God. My Clarence is back home too.
How is the old rascal?
Probably outside, chasing ghosts and chimeras. Clarence has changed a lot since he returned from the war, you know.
How have you been since the last time we met? How long has it been? 3 years now?
I've done my duty, like all British women. You have no idea what it was like to wait for months without knowing if I'd still be a wife or a widow.
I understand. Luckily, this part of town has been saved from the worst of the bombings, from what I've seen.
Yes, and it's also true about the epidemic. The flu has killed here too, of course, but not on such a large scale as in other parts of town.
Have you noticed anything peculiar about the neighborhood recently?
You mean except for your return to town? No. Oh, and again, Jonathan. Please accept my condolences for your sister.
Why is my return so surprising?
It's more an unexpected happy end than a surprise. You and Clarence, back from the war. You have no idea how hard it's been for me.
Thank you, Venus. It was so sudden. And I've been so busy, I haven't spoken to anyone about it.
I wish I could have assisted at the funeral, but you know, it's been so quick. And what with the epidemic in the streets?
There's no need to apologize, my dear. It's normal, considering the circumstances.
No, it's not. I am sure that Clarence has not even thought to present you his condolences. He is too busy with his penny dreadful stories.
Venus, why do you worry so much about your family's reputation?
Everyone laughs at Clarence now. And they avoid me because they believe I share his insane opinions. I'm a leper in my own community.
Okay, that should be it there, yeah. Okay.
Tell me about Clarence's obsession with vampires.
It drives me so crazy it makes my stomach hurt. I was so relieved to have him back. But I quickly realized he'd lost his mind in France.
I understand your irritation, Venus. But you have to accept the trauma Clarence endured on the battlefield.
The question is simple, Jonathan. Is my husband mad? Yes or no? Do vampires exist? Or is Clarence a lunatic?
The important question is, what do you really think of your husband?
I'm tough, Jonathan. He should have told me the horrors he witnessed, however appalling it was, instead of inventing a fantasy about blood-drinking monsters.
So you don't believe Clarence?
If poor Mary, bless her soul, had tried to convince you of the existence of bloody vampires, would you have believed her? Seriously?
Why are you
At least it doesn't
poisoning
give you
your
the
husband?
option.
He has spent a fortune printing his bloody papers. I can't stand this nightmare anymore. We are the butt of everyone's jokes since he returned.
If you're so frustrated by Clarence's behavior, why don't you just leave him?
I have already lost the best years of my life because of him. I will not jeopardize my future for some lunatic. He goes, and I inherit what's left.
I have to tell Clarence the truth about all this.
He will never believe you.
I know how to be persuasive, Venus.
Do as you wish. I don't care. I am not afraid of his reaction anyway. Honestly, he's so lost in madness that any change will be a relief.
I'm investigating the source of the epidemic in this district. Have you noticed anything unusual?
The McPhersons. I heard they locked themselves in their own house.
They could just be afraid of getting sick.
Perhaps you're right. But if I were you, I'd pay them a visit. A big house, reachable through a courtyard, to the north of the railway bridge.
Okay. So I think that's all I can ask there.
Goodbye for now.
So I'm going to say goodbye to her.
I'm so sorry for your loss, Jonathan. I know that you are always welcome here, but at night.
Okay, wait. I'm gonna go back here first because this way is the kitchen. So I can do the kitchen first.
At least you survived the Great War.
Okay. There we go. Now clear out this.
It's locked.
Venus's journal. There is the top part. There's kind of closer to the bottom. And there's the last entry. There you go, guys. There's Lost Library. There we go. I can go out that way, and I will. I just want to make sure I do have everything. Okay. And I think I do. Okay. Yep. I sure do. There we go. Okay.
No invitation is needed to enter this building.
Emily's love letter.
Emily wanted to. No sign of a struggle. It seems Charlotte's friend knew the killer and let him in.
Okay, nope, not that.
Blood. I should follow the trail.
I'm just wanting to make sure I did collect everything, because this room is really dark for me. I don't know if it's just the way that I'm like angled towards the screen, or if it's really the contrast. It won't be very far.
Who are you? What are you doing here?
I could ask you the same question.
I'm the Marquis de Bois-Colombes, and I strongly invite you to find your own game, sir.
I'm not here to sustain myself. I'm currently investigating the death of a young woman killed by a vampire.
A young woman killed by a vampire? Oh, you're joking, right? Oh, I do love the British sense of humor.
And who exactly are you?
I am Jacques-Michel Guillaume Florimond de Marquis de Bois-Colombes, at your service, my dear cousin.
You're French, but your English is quite good.
I was born in France, sir, but I consider myself a traveler of this world. So many countries, so many tantalizing tastes.
Dear cousin, are we related?
We could be of the same blood, my dear. I tend to consider all Econs as family, don't you?
What are you doing here?
I recently decided to visit London. I've always dreamed of visiting a city on the verge of collapse. Such a delicate, yet intense spectacle.
You take pleasure from others' misery.
I have been a totally depraved and immoral creature since the day I was reborn, sir. And probably before.
What do you plan to do here?
Take pleasure. Take pictures. Enjoy the show. Have fun. Believe me, I won't be the only foreign immortal who bought a ticket to the fair.
I followed the trail of blood from her room to here.
Oh, you're referring to that young woman. Yes, the meeting turned messy. I'm afraid I ruined my last wedding good.
So you admit you murdered her?
I admit nothing, my good sir. I only regret the blood of that girl staining my clothes. Oh, blood can be so messy.
What happened?
She wanted to become one of us. Not the first time I have received such a proposal, but I must admit her direct approach tempted me.
And then what?
The body rejected my blood. It happens, you know, sometimes even with voluntary prey. At least her gurglings brought me some fun, until the artery burst.
I
know it can go bad. She probably was turning into a scowl.
Your statement.
Oh, Emily was her name. Quite charming. Well, mystery solved then.
Yes, I suppose so. You can go.
And so can you. Farewell, sir. May you enjoy the spectacle of this fallen city as much as I do.
I mean, she did, her diary did say she wanted to become a vampire. And that's what she was talking about in the letter. If you guys want to go back and kind of read through it, that's fine. Or if you guys did pause it and read it. Alrighty guys, so I think what I might do...
You cannot forget his name.
I'm going the wrong way. I just caught myself because I realized who that was on that side. It's a lady that's eating the rats. I am going to talk to him on my way.
Are you all right?
I won't lie to you, Johnny. I'm not a well man.
Clarence, why have you distributed leaflets about vampires all across the West End?
I have to warn everybody about them. They've killed thousands of people already, unnoticed thanks to the epidemic. We are all in danger here.
Vampires in London? Come on, Clarence. Who's going to believe that?
I'm not mad, Jonathan. You have to believe me. I know they are real. They're all around us, even as we speak.
Clarence, I'm your friend, so I'm not going to judge you. But think about your wife, your family. You're in pain, and you need help. I can help you.
I don't need a doctor, Jonathan. I need my best friend to trust me.
Dang it.
Do you realize you are ruining your family, Clarence? Don't you see the risk here?
Money isn't important. Not important when it is a matter of life and death. That is what my dear Venus cannot understand.
People will laugh at you, if they don't already. Think about your wife and your position. Think about your future.
I understand my wife's embarrassment, but gossips don't kill, vampires do. There'll be no future if people don't open their eyes.
I can't believe I'm telling you this, but if warning people is that important to you, why not choose a more efficient way to spend your money?
Don't you think I tried? I knocked at every door, went to every bank, I even tried to be published. No, Jonathan. This is a one-man war.
Tell me what you have discovered about vampires, Clarence.
They've always been here. And if you search for long enough, you realize others know about these devils too. I'm not alone.
Have you shared your research with anybody else?
No. But I've published my leaflets all across the city, hoping that someday someone will realize I'm printing the truth.
What do you mean you're not alone? Who have you met?
The Guard of Prewin, the Brotherhood of St. Paul Stole, Ichabod Throgmorton. Those names always pop up when you dig deep enough.
Have you spoken with any of them?
No. With the quarantine, it's almost impossible to leave the West End. But as a doctor, maybe you could, Johnny.
Are you asking me to help you prove the existence of vampires, Clarence?
Yes, Johnny. Please, gather all the information you can find about vampires and bring it to me. You're the only friend I have left. I need you.
Venus is poisoning you, Clarence. She wants you dead.
So she really hates me that much now. My poor wife. I had no idea my research would drive her to such extremes.
I'm sorry, Clarence.
Why would you tell me that? First you returned from the dead, and now you tell me my wife is trying to murder me.
You're a stupid bastard, but you're my friend, Clarence. And I don't have many left. I don't want you to die. Not like that.
But I love her. I love my wife. Did I make her suffer that much? Have I become such a burden?
So you have no suspicions about her at all? Nothing in Venus's behavior has seemed odd since you returned?
Frankly, it's my behavior that's been odd. Ever since I got back from the war, she accuses me of being paranoid and delusional.
I'm investigating the source of the
I'm gonna ask him, and then I'll have those two at least
Infection is
asked.
everywhere these days. If you ever go to the park near that swanky house belonging to the ladies.
Yes? What about the Mullaneys? What about their house?
Not enough noise for a big family with children. Not enough movement. Closed doors. What is going on in there? I wonder.
You need some rest, Clarence. You should try to sleep.
Okay. So, what I'm gonna do now is head this way. Go up to my room. Okay, I am gonna break things down real quick. Ah, recycle. There we go. Okay, so let's see, because I have this upgrade. I think I have that fully upgraded, actually. Interesting. Okay, well, there we go. I think I might try to, let's see. So all I've got to do is, haha, look at that. I've got everything done right there, other than that last one. Yes. Oh, that makes me happy. Nice. Okay, so I've actually somehow managed to do that. Okay, everybody's good there, everybody's good there, everybody's good there. And I am good to go. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to rest. And in this rest, I'm going to go ahead and up my... I can't up my healing, but I can up... Do I want to do the mist? Which is a bigger area. I think I was going to do this because it's a higher damage. There we go. Okay, so that's a higher damage now. I've now got that. Let's see. Do I want any of these? The Abyss wouldn't be bad to even start on. Let's do the Abyss. Because that would just give me another avenue of... Yeah, I'm glad with that. Okay. Now that I'm getting up there, what is the next one? 2. Okay. And these, I think, are way too high. Okay. Lead capacity, yeah. So I'm just going to go ahead and confirm this. Leave that there just like that. We're going to see what the following night did. Looks like this is still the same. Those all healed. Looks like it's going up to sanitize. Nice. Oh, everybody. Pembroke seemed to have gotten sick. So we'll have to go and fix that. Looks like headache, headache, fatigue, fatigue, and another headache. So I will have to worry about that. So it looks like they just transferred. Fatigue, cold, fatigue, fatigue, and fatigue. So a lot of fatigues, some headaches, and some colds. So I just need to worry about Pembroke and Whitechapel. Those are the areas. So I've got a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people that need to be healed. Gotcha. Okay, so I will work on that. But I will work on that when we come back, guys. I thank you for joining me in RZB World, and I hope you guys have a great day, evening, afternoon, weekday, weekend, however it may fall for you. And I hope you continue to come back and join us and hop in our lives. Tell us hi. We'd love to say hi back and talk with you. And yeah, so we love hanging out with y'all, and thank you for joining us in RZB World. Mama Bear out.